all this money. This just does not exist. It's a false narrative that they sell y'all. It's miserable.
It has absolutely zero to do with us not being from Africa. It has absolutely zero to do with you being actually indigenous.
Mad, but you're gonna be, you know how I know you're gonna be mad? Because you're gonna say some stupid shit on my comments. But it's the truth. He looks so comfortable in Africa.
Was the BS. Now, cut this shit out, man. Cut this shit out.
So there is this African American man that is talking about the mindset that he had prior to coming into Africa, and it's wild. Honestly, it's very, very wild. But I want us to go into the video, and also I have other African Americans talking about ISO speed and what he is currently doing in Africa and the propaganda and all that has been propagated for years. Don't forget to like the video. You don't lose anything by liking. Comment whatever you want to comment. Let's go into the video.
Okay, I'm going to talk to you about my first time in Africa years ago. The moment I got to the hotel, I looked at the security guard there and noticed he didn't have a gun. And I was very uncomfortable with that because he was wearing a pair of sandals and no gun. They took me to my room. My door only had one lock. So I told the people at the hotel, I need a safe to hide my money in. This is not a safe place. So they brought me a little bitty safe that you could just carry around. And I said, all right, they must be trying to set me up. I know they're trying to set me up. So I stayed up that night and I went to sleep, got up that morning, and they called me for breakfast. I said, all right. So they're trying to lure me out of the room. So while I'm eating breakfast, they can come in and rob me, take all my money. So I put all my money in my pocket and left about 1,000 CDs on the table. And when I got back, the money was still there. In fact, the room was clean. Okay. Now, my point is this. I was never going to give them a chance. I was never going to give them, in my mind, a chance to prove that they were not going to do anything. Every turn, they were going to try something underhanded and low down. You see, that is how Black Americans are programmed to think. And it happens to us in our own country. Other groups think that way about us, whether we do something or not. And at that point, I had called my cousin and I said, hey, man, we got to change. We are wrong. When we come here with the wrong mindset. We should not be this way. Just because we're treated this way in our own country of birth doesn't mean that we have to act and behave the way that the oppressor behaves. But my point in being is, because of those experiences, I even decided when I got home, I said, I'm not carrying a gun anymore. I'm not going to carry a weapon. I'm going to just give people the benefit of the doubt because I've seen better and I've learned better.
I've recently posted a video about how Africans that have money actually have money compared to Americans. Like, for example, you could see an African here in Kenya driving around in a 2010 BMW, and in America that would be like, oh, that's so old, it's such an old car. The thing is, 9 times out of 10 in most African countries, they don't have the same credit system, unless it's maybe in Southern Africa, that you can pay over time. So that means that these people had to actually put their money up and pay. And so I'm saying, Africans think that we're all so successful in the United States because we have the newest iPhone, the nicest car, when really all that shit is on credit. And I keep telling people, credit was created. It was created for people to buy things that they could not afford. And then people like to make the example of, oh, well, Jay-Z just bought a $2 billion mansion. Yeah, there's levels to it, right? So when you get rich, credit becomes a game, right? There's a leverage that Donald Trump uses. There's stuff that people do. There's a whole game whenever you play the rich side of credit. But for you motherfuckers that are like making under $500,000 a year, including myself, credit is an option for, hey, okay, I don't have $500,000 to drop on this house. I can't afford it. For some reason, that's killing you guys' ego by saying you can't afford it. That's literally why they fucking created that system. That's why we can enjoy more luxuries in African countries, because they created a system for you to buy now and pay later, right? And so Africans think that we're so successful when really about 90% of, most Americans don't even have $500 to their name, and let alone good income. And so they are literally one paycheck away from that brand new BMW i8 that they're driving and all them finance bottles they popping in clubs and a new iPhone. Let them miss one paycheck and they gonna have the net worth of a boater driver.
You know how ridiculous these people are? Currently, Asho Speed is traveling across Africa, and he went to Botswana and he went to the diamond mine, and they were showing him all the spectacular diamonds. And he actually said that he wanted to buy diamonds, but they said, oh, you are not able to buy diamonds from here because we only have 2 customers. And these customers are the only people who are approved to buy diamonds from us. And that one was De Beers. Now, cut this shit out, man. Cut this shit out. The diamonds are from Botswana, okay? And people of Botswana are not allowed by one company whose birth, De Beers, origin. Look at the origin of De Beers. Is born out of African sweat and blood, okay? And the diamonds that could actually profit the people of Botswana are basically exclusively to be sold to De Beers. You need to cut this shit out, Botswana. Cut this shit out. Now the world knows what is going on. These companies are just useless companies. You need to benefit. The people of Botswana need to be the ones who are benefiting from your produce.
So I never asked my grandmother on my father's side anything about Africa. Why? Because my grandmother passed away when she was 33. So I've never met her. But what I did get a chance to do was actually call and talk to her sister. And I did ask her about Africa. And this is what it was.
How you doing?
Hey, Auntie, how you doing? I'm good.
I'm good. What's going on with you?
Nothing much. Just relaxing right now. Yeah, I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
So you know how they teach us that, about slavery and everything, and how black people came from Africa. Did great grandma Louise or her parents ever say anything about us being from Africa?
Oh, who you talking about, Mariah? No, they ain't never said nothing like that. They said they was from Smith County, or that's, I guess, the area of Virginia Beach.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you never.
They may not be the right county, or it was some corner. I don't know, but I know that's right there, the Newtown Road area.
Okay. So yeah. So you never heard anything about us being from Africa, right? Okay.
We're not from Africa. We are natives. It's our land. We all know about the slate ships. We're not from Africa.
No, I'm just kidding. What I found astounding is that people don't understand exactly why a lot of these grandmas and stuff say they don't know anything about Africa. It has absolutely zero to do with us not being from Africa. It has absolutely zero to do with you being actually indigenous to this land. One of the biggest reasons why people say they didn't hear anything about Africa is because people don't know shit. For some reason, people tend to think that all the families back during the slave times, they all just stayed together and they all just were spreading oral histories and just knew everything. That is far from the truth. Slaves were moved around all the time. And we talk about women, men, and children. A lot of times, children were ripped away from their families. And a lot of times, a baby will grow up in a place where they thought these people were their parents, but they really weren't. No offense to that grandma who was talking about the black Indians helped Columbus out of the river and the water and stuff because, he was in trouble. But she was not telling the truth. Like, where did she get that from? And if someone says, well, she got it from oral histories, how? You telling me all these black Indians somehow back then just had that knowledge? Do y'all even know where Christopher Columbus had landed? And some grandmas make up stuff, like in this video.
Since I was a child, I remember my cousins, my aunts, and other relatives telling me that she was half Seminole Indian. Now, my whole life, I went through believing that my great-grandmother was half Seminole Indian and that I had Indian in my family. She told me that her grandmother was a slave, and she was a cook for a man named Bootman. That was his last name. And that some of her children were this man's children. So when she got free, she told her children, and she told everyone, that her children were not his, that they were an Indian man's children, because she hated white people and she did not want to be associated with them in any way.
I mean, I have a couple cousins in my own family talking about we are American Indians and that we were never slaves and that, you know, we've always been here. But I have the documentation and the paperwork to prove that we actually were slaves from that side of the family and that we have not always been here. Y'all literally just heard my grandmother's sister just say that she's never heard anything about us being from Africa. This is one of my dad's DNA matches. He is from Liberia. He is from the Lorma tribe, and he also has Ghanaian ancestry. His family has always been in Africa this whole time. I will say this, family historical ignorance does not mean to make up your own narrative. I will say it one more time. Family historical ignorance does not mean to make up your own narrative. So just because a grandma says, I ain't never heard nothing about Africa, that don't mean anything. And if your grandma said, we always been here, you better make sure you fact check that and fact check it the correct way. Because a lot of you guys, what y'all do is y'all take that information and you try to find things to validate what your grandma said versus doing genealogy the proper way. I already called people lying in their videos about their own genealogy. And when I called them out, guess what they did? They didn't respond to the video. For one, some of them, they blocked me. And two, some of them, they just had nothing else to say. And they just moved on because they knew they was wrong for that. So a lot of y'all don't even know how to do proper genealogy. But again, do that shit right. Otherwise, you got somebody like me who's going to come behind you and I'm going to fact check your information.
And people back home, to my people in Africa, I'm going to be the first one to tell you that there's no need for you to aspire to come to the United States of America. There's no need for you to aspire to come here at all. Everything you see on TV is glamorized. Do not romanticize the idea of coming here, okay? Most of us are trying to leave. Most of us are actually planning to leave this country. Okay? There's nothing here. They don't like you. They don't want you here. Okay? Even if you think you're coming here to make all this money, this just does not exist. It's a false narrative that they sell y'all. It's miserable. Okay? At least back home, you have your community, you have your people. Yes, we might be struggling, but we're happy. We're struggling and happy. Here we're just struggling and mad and sad as fuck. Stay where you are. And for us that are here in the diaspora, we need to collectively come together and figure out how we can stimulate our economy back home, bring businesses, so we can stop relying on other countries and stop relying on our government that's not doing shit.
Can we talk about all the celebrities that are currently and have visited Africa? And when I say Africa, I don't just mean Ghana, I don't just mean Nigeria, but I am loving to see more black people, more black celebrities, American celebrities, Caribbean celebrities come to Africa. And, you know, I see Shensia in Nigeria, I see DG in Nigeria, I see Speed doing a whole tour in South Africa, Botswana, all the places. And Beanie Man was in Ghana, Fabulous was in Ghana, Busta Rhymes was in Ghana. Loving this for Africa. My only concern, and Deja's in Ghana. My only concern is that I don't really know what my concern is, but I just want, I know African Americans get a lot of discourse, right, about their behavior and their entitlement, and I see it firsthand all the time. I'm African American, Caribbean background. I've been living in Ghana for the past 6 years, and when I see some of their behaviors, I be like, bro, don't come here, go back to America. You know why? Because it's like they expect America in Africa, and I'm gonna say Ghana and Nigeria, and you have to keep in mind that these places is still so much more work to be done. So, and I get it because I live here. But I also have some sort of like sympathy and empathy because I can't expect what I have back in America. So I say all that to say, when y'all come here, please, I beg, don't come here with that entitlement mentality. I love all of what's happening. I love the fact that more people, black people, are exploring and willing to travel to Africa, but it's also like, be very mindful, be considerate, and understand that this is a different culture, this is a different country, and you're dealing with different people. We're all black, but we have different experiences.
So everybody knows iSpeed. iSpeed is one of the baddest streamers on social media. He's dope as hell. You know what I love about Speed is that he does like physical challenges from flips to sprinting. He even beat, I think, what's his name? What was it, Ashton Hall?
Too slow. Stop playing with me, dude.
He kind of beat him in that sprint, right? So one thing I love about Speed is he takes challenges, man, physical challenges, and he's curious as hell about everything. But what I love about him is his international curiosity. He's been to China, Europe, he goes all over the place. Now he's doing his African tour, and I really love it even more. You know why? Because everybody looks like him, you know? And I can see when he was in like Europe, there was a lot of like racial bullshit. You know, of course they were accepting, but you know, Europeans, they can't help but say some stupid shit about black people, you know, they can't help it. It's just in you. Yeah, I know you guys are going to be mad, but you're going to be, you know how I know you're going to be mad? Because you're going to say some stupid shit on my comments, but it's the truth. He looks so comfortable in Africa, and because, you know, you're with your people, man. Regardless of what you may say about it, black Americans, Africans, Caribbeans, Afro Latinos, black folks are black folks. We're family. We are family because a lot of us all look like each other. Sometimes we don't know where we're from until we say something. So it's not an accident because Africans, and guess what? They had a whole scientific test on the European and the African. And the European's genetic makeup is 97% human, 3% Neanderthal. And the African is 100% human. So those are the results. Of course you feel at home because Africans, no matter all the atrocities that African people, black people have felt in the world, we're very forgiving. If we judge you by your content of character, yeah. I have white friends, you know? Yeah, I have white friends. And you know why I'm cool with them? Because of their character. Because a lot of times you're going to be like, Godfrey, you just hate white people. I don't like people who do bad shit. I don't like anybody that does bad shit. But unfortunately, a lot of the shit you do, a lot of people that do the bad shit to black people are usually white. That's all I'm saying. But when he was in China, they were making fun of him too. Asians do the same. But Asians, I'm sorry to say this, but you kind of got the same genetic makeup as Europeans. And I have Asian friends too. I have friends from every walk of life. Because they have good character. Most of the time we're judged by our color, which is sad. But when I was in Nigeria visiting my relatives a year and a half ago, I had no stress for 2 weeks. You know why? Because everybody looked like me. I didn't see a white person for maybe 10 days. And I didn't feel stressed out. I felt like I belonged no matter if I went into a cafe or a hotel. It didn't feel like, what are they doing here? Because a lot of times you feel that way as a person, a black person, you feel like you walk into a hotel and white folks always look at you like you don't belong. It's just what it is. Just hold yourself accountable for that shit. Speed, keep doing what you're doing. Africa, thank you for embracing them. And all of this propaganda about us hating each other is bullshit. That's a small amount of people that it's just they like to blow shit up because they want to keep us all divided. And Speed is proving that, yo, man, we are the same. We are family, man. And I hope that this can be for the whole human family. And when you see a black person, enough with the racist bullshit. You can't help it, can you? When you see some fly, you can't help it. And I think most of the times when you're making fun of black folks, it's because of insecurity. It's because of jealousy. Because you don't even know these black folks and you just make up that you learned on TV, but then half of you are copying the black culture all goddamn day at the same time making fun of them. So there's a hatred and a jealousy and an insecurity, and that's where that comes from. That's another one for you. I'll see you later.
Did you guys see that video of Speed at a restaurant? There's like a million fans out there screaming for him. And as he's walking, I guess to go sit down, a lady sticks up 2 middle fingers at him as he passes by. Now, Speed does not let this slide. He actually approaches the lady and is like, are you sticking those up at me? And I guess the lady was not expecting him to even acknowledge her. She definitely got the attention she wanted. And then I guess the lady's friend that was sitting next to her says like, hey, we're just trying to eat. And then there's another guy who tells Speed like, hey, we're just trying to eat. And Speed is like, I'm trying to eat as well. Like, Like, what do you think I just came here for? I just thought it was crazy that they're over here saying like, hey, we're trying to eat, when it was somebody that was sitting at their table, most likely one of their family members or a friend, who was disrupting Speed walking by. Speed was just walking by minding his own business, and literally it's like, why did you have to do that? I love how Speed was like, hey, I'm here to eat too. He didn't get out of character. He was just explaining like, hey, she's the one who started it first. So why are you guys over here attacking me when you should be talking to the person that's sitting at your table? However, there were a lot of mixed reviews going around. Some people thought that it was just rude that he was there with all his fans, and like, people are actually trying to eat, not trying to hear all these fans yelling and screaming. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think it was rude of him to show up there and have all his fans there, even though, you know, he can't control his fans? Or do you think he has the right to be there just like anybody else? Let me know down below in the comment section.
So just listen to this African American man talking about the mindset that he came into Africa with. If you're African American and you're watching this, I just want to ask, do you also have the same mindset? Because it's wild. Seriously, it's wild having that thought in your mind coming into Africa. But I'm very glad and I'm very happy he had a different experience, and now he has even changed his mind on carrying gun in the US. Because listen, crimes happen everywhere, you understand? But to be very honest with you, the crimes that happen in Africa, they are far lesser than the ones that you guys experience in the US. So when you are coming into Africa, have an open mind. Have an open mind. Come into this country, have an open mind, and just know that you are coming to your people. Although there are bad people everywhere, so you should put that also at the back of your mind, but just come with an open mind. And this woman that is talking about, in Botswana, Aisha Speed wasn't able to buy diamond because he wanted to buy diamond, and they didn't allow because they said they sell it to just two people or two groups or two clients or whatever. I don't know for that. Maybe that's the arrangements and she is not happy about it. I'm from Ghana, and I'm telling you, in Ghana, Aisha Speed, whenever he gets here, he can easily buy gold, because we have gold board that sell gold, refined gold, to citizens, to everyone. We don't sell it specifically to a group of people. No, we have the government also selling it to other people outside. But if any individual wants to buy gold, they can easily buy gold. So that's basically the whole thing. I don't know why they have the arrangement, that arrangement in Botswana, but in Ghana is very different. And this African American talking about, he asked his grandmother or his auntie, and the auntie was like, they were never told about Africa, that they are from Africa and all that. Listen, I don't blame them, and I will not say they are wrong or right, but you see, we are not forcing anyone to come to Africa or to accept to be an African. If you feel like you want to be an African, or you feel like you are African and you want to come to Africa, the doors are open. Nobody hates. No, Africans don't hate African Americans. If you want to remain in America and live your life, so be it. Just feel free. But whenever you decide that, yes, Africans are my people and I want to also come to Africa, the doors are open. Thank you so much for watching.